Have you ever asked yourself what truly brings happiness? Let's embark on a journey of discovery, starting with our own selves. We have two parts, the primitive and the evolved. Imagine yourself as a vessel split into two distinct halves. One part, the primitive, is deep-rooted, instinctive, and driven by basic needs. It's the part that craves, desires, and reacts. On the other side, we have the evolved aspect. This part is refined, logical, and tries to keep our instincts in check. It's the part that plans, contemplates, and aspires. This dichotomy is not a struggle, but a dance. It's a harmonious interplay that molds our character and shapes our behavior. Yes, they might conflict at times, sparking internal turmoil. But it's this very conflict that fosters self-awareness, growth, and transformation. So, who are we truly? Are we just slaves to our primitive instincts or rulers with our evolved intellect? The answer is, we're both. We may be a product of our instincts, but it's our ability to control these instincts that defines us. As we navigate through life, we often become entangled in our worries. But what if there was a way to detach ourselves from these worries? Imagine a technique, not a quick fix, but a practice that can help us distance ourselves from the whirlpool of anxieties. This technique is meditation. Meditation helps us cultivate a space between ourselves and our concerns. It's like standing on the shore, watching our worries like waves, coming and going, but not getting swept away. It's not about suppressing or ignoring our worries, but about observing them without judgment. Why is this important? Because it helps us gain mental clarity and peace. It's like cleaning the lens of our mind's eye for a sharper, clearer view of life. The clearer our mind, the more effectively we can deal with life's challenges. And dealing effectively with life's challenges, my friends, is a cornerstone of true happiness. Happiness is not the absence of worries, but the ability to deal with them effectively. How we treat others is a mirror of how we treat ourselves. This principle is captured in the Golden Rule. The Golden Rule, a universal principle found across cultures and religions, guides us to treat others as we'd like to be treated. It's a simple yet profound concept that can foster healthy relationships. Imagine a world where everyone followed this rule. The respect, kindness, and understanding that would flow from this practice could significantly enhance our collective happiness. In our journey towards personal fulfillment, we often overlook the importance of our relationships, but the quality of our interactions, the depth of our connections, and the kindness we extend to others can significantly contribute to our happiness. It's in these shared experiences, these mutual exchanges of respect and compassion, that we find a deep sense of contentment and joy. The key to happiness often lies in the quality of our relationships. So let's strive to make every interaction a reflection of the respect and kindness we wish for ourselves. We often see faults in others more readily than in ourselves. But what if we turned this lens inward? This moment of self-reflection is not an exercise in self-criticism, but rather a step towards self-awareness and growth. It's about understanding our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, the good, the bad, and the in-between. Just as a mirror reflects our physical appearance, introspection reflects our inner world, revealing our strengths and weaknesses, our virtues and vices. It's not always comfortable to confront our own faults, but it's necessary. Recognizing and addressing these faults can lead to profound personal growth and increased satisfaction in life. This self-awareness extends beyond ourselves. It can help us build more fulfilling relationships, fostering empathy and understanding. It allows us to navigate our interactions with grace and wisdom, to respond rather than react, to listen and truly understand. So remember, the journey towards happiness is not an outward expedition, but an inward exploration. The first step towards happiness is self-awareness. Where does happiness really come from? Is it an internal state of mind, or does it come from external circumstances? This is the intriguing question at the heart of the happiness hypothesis. Some thinkers like Buddha argue that happiness springs from within, independent of our external world. Others posit that happiness is a product of our surroundings, our relationships, our achievements. But what if the truth lies somewhere in the middle? What if happiness is not an either-or proposition, but a delicate interplay between our internal state and our external environment. Think of it like a dance. Sometimes the rhythm of our inner feelings takes the lead. At other times, the melody of our external circumstances sets the pace. Both are essential components of the dance of happiness. This perspective suggests that we have some control over our happiness, but it's not absolute. It's about finding the right balance, the right steps in our dance. Perhaps happiness is not a destination, but a journey of constant exploration and adjustment. Love, in all its forms, is a fundamental human experience. But how does it relate to our happiness? Delving into the 6th chapter of Jonathan Haidt's insightful book, we find ourselves exploring the profound role that love plays in our pursuit of happiness. Love, in this context, extends far beyond the romantic sense. It encompasses our connections with family, friendships, and even the passion we may feel for our vocations or hobbies. You see, love is not simply an emotion. It's a state that broadens our personal horizons, urging us to step outside the confines of our individual selves. It's a conduit that links us to others and the world around us, fostering a sense of belonging, and therein lies its essence. The truth is, love is instrumental to our happiness because it enriches our lives with a sense of fulfillment that solitary pursuits often fail to provide. It's the thread that weaves through the fabric of our existence, making our tapestry of life vibrant and meaningful. Happiness is incomplete without love. Adversity is a part of life, but is it essential to our happiness? That's a question that has been pondered upon for centuries. The relationship between adversity and happiness is complex, to say the least. It's a delicate dance where one step in the wrong direction could lead to a tumble, but when performed with grace, it can create a beautiful harmony. Adversity, in its many forms, presents us with challenges. These challenges often push us outside of our comfort zones, forcing us to adapt and grow. This growth, while sometimes painful, can lead to personal fulfillment. It's through overcoming these challenges that we often find a deeper sense of purpose and meaning in our lives. But it's important to remember that adversity isn't a prerequisite for happiness. It's possible to lead a happy life without facing significant hardships. However, when adversity does come our way, it can serve as a catalyst for personal growth and self-discovery. Sometimes it's the journey through adversity that leads us to happiness. What does it mean to be virtuous, and how does virtue contribute to our happiness? Virtue, as Aristotle posited, is about realizing our potential and cultivating our strengths. It's not about rigid adherence to a set of rules, but rather, it's about the authentic expression of who we are, our values, and our capabilities. Each of us holds a unique potential, a unique virtue that is waiting to be realized. When we live in alignment with this virtue, we find a sense of fulfillment and satisfaction that superficial pleasures can't provide. This is because virtue ties our actions to our deeply held values, creating a sense of coherence and meaning in our lives. Living virtuously doesn't mean being perfect. It means acknowledging our strengths and our weaknesses, and striving every day to become the best version of ourselves. It means making choices that reflect who we are and who we aspire to be. True happiness comes from living a life that aligns with our values and strengths. It's about being true to ourselves in every thought, every action, and every moment. What role does a sense of divinity or spirituality play in our happiness? This is the question we delve into in this segment. The idea of divinity, or a spiritual practice, is often intertwined with moral actions and a virtuous life. It's not about subscribing to a particular faith or doctrine, but about recognizing the interconnectedness of all things, the grandeur of the universe, and our small yet significant place within it. This sense of divinity or spirituality can act as a guiding compass, leading us towards actions that are in harmony with our higher selves and the world around us. When we align our actions with this sense of divinity, we often find ourselves living more virtuously. We become more considerate, compassionate, and understanding. This virtuous living, in turn, contributes to our overall happiness. Happiness often comes from realizing our place in the larger scheme of things. Scene script. Happiness is a delicate balance, but what are the elements that need to be balanced? In our pursuit of joy, we must consider three crucial components: relationships, work, and a sense of purpose. They are like three legs of a stool, each supporting our happiness in its unique way. Our relationships, be it with family, friends, or partners, provide emotional support, shared experiences, and a sense of belonging. They remind us that we're not alone in this world and that we are part of a larger community. Our work, on the other hand, gives us a sense of achievement and identity. It provides structure to our lives, keeps us engaged, and allows us to contribute to society in meaningful ways. And finally, our sense of purpose. This is what gives our lives direction and meaning. It's the driving force that motivates us to wake up every morning, to learn, to grow, and to live our lives to the fullest. Happiness is not a single point, but a balance of many elements in our life.